Toy Story broke $1 billion in the box office, but the studio is laying off the artists that worked on the movie. Disney released a YouTube children's show, but it's supposedly made with generative AI. What is going on in Disney? This past week has been a whirlwind of multiple situations going on at Disney, such as releasing a supposedly AI show. A few weeks back, reports were coming out saying how Disney released a YouTube exclusive children's series, Aussie Fox, that was allegedly using AI to create the show. A lot of people showed dismay and disappointment at Disney for allowing this, especially since not even a year ago, Disney executive announced about using AI in special effects, while also laying off the department created and developed the very look, feel, and design of the Marvel Universe. But we need to clear some things up about this show. Animage? I think it's pronounced Animage. The name of the software that created the sketch to pose technology released this video explaining their workflow. Now, to be fair, this show isn't AI, but in fact, the tools that they use is implementing AI, basically in real time translating the storyboards to animate keyframes or key poses. In hindsight, it doesn't look invasive, but I believe in the saying, give them an inch, they will take a mile. The software is allegedly generative AI, however, it is using the storyboards, not the internet, to pull up other artists' work. But here's my concern with this technology. Let's say the storyboard artist no longer works on the project. The studio can still use their same storyboards as a database to generate their own animations that the original storyboard artist never signed in on or isn't even aware. Here are what some others are saying in response. I don't understand why they defend this or companies support it. It's much simpler slash fast to just animate it. I'm saying this as someone who's not an animator and I make animations. Rigging is super simple in 2D and 3D. Oh, that's a great tool. I totally want it. It'd be awesome if it supported Maya too. I have mixed feelings about this. On one hand, you're still supposed to put your input into the software via drawing the character's actions instead of just typing a prompt and hoping the AI doesn't mess up, which is a good thing. But on the other hand, why don't you just use the rig? Judging by the show where Pocoyo, the character being used in this video, comes from, the animation style isn't really that unique with the animators only having to simple movements. At this point, if it's not generative AI, fine. Find a different name to call it. The term AI has such a negative connotation to it when not all AI is the same or comes from the same category. Machine assistance has always been a thing for a long time, even before this new AI boom. I do have to say about this is actually pretty true. Machine learning has always existed, and a lot of people are blurring the lines of machine learning and AI. And to tell you the truth, these are two completely different categories or different thought process of what's going on. But because of everything that's happening with AI, a lot of people kind of associate, oh, anything with AI is awful and it's bad. Specifically generative AI in the animation, yeah, there's no need for it. It's just useless. It's just noise. It's just more work, more slop to put on. There's no need for it. There's also other AIs such as like Gemini, Claude, and other uses of AI that like Google, YouTube, even Meta is pushing a lot into it that there's really no need for it. I was literally watching a 10-second video just explaining like a certain coffee recipe. And as I was going to save the video, it popped up and give me details of a summary of the video. Why are we putting summaries of a 10-second video? Like it's 10 seconds. It's simple enough. We don't need summaries for this. There is certain type of AI that is definitely it's just noise, it's just junk being thrown more in front of us that is just there's no need for it. Whereas there are other certain AI specifically in the medical field that is known to be pretty beneficial, such as like catching cancer or picking up on any issues that a patient or maybe the doctors don't see beforehand. But AI specifically in the technology space and in the animation space, it's just noise at this point. There's even in technology, machine learning has always been there, it's always been implemented. But now a lot of people are kind of replacing that word or fuzzing it with AI. But moral of the story, there's a difference between machine learning and AI. The people that are understandably upset by this are not aware that the way they're using AI here does not replace artists or animators at all. It is truly just a tool and ones that have existed before generative AI was even a thing. It's been used in the medical fields. Removing animators' jobs and giving more workload to the storyboard artists by using AI algorithm is not a win, even if the finished product isn't AI generated. This is another thing that I also agree as well. I feel like this will be more of a workload on the storyboard artist. A very long time ago, there were some storyboards that were coming out that was very There weren't even storyboards, they were just animation based. There was a lot of keyframes, pretty much very rough animation that there was no need to have rough animators. It was just fully animated and it was storyboard artists working on it. That was a little bit concerning because that doubled the workload of the storyboard artists and it was also replacing a lot of animators positions. So I kind of see this going on with this software as well, even though it doesn't look like it's using an algorithm and it's not necessarily generative AI, but it's still replacing jobs and it's going to be more of a workload on storyboard artists. But personally, this feels like Disney is allegedly testing the waters of what they can get away with when using AI, where to implement AI, and how audiences react to it. Again, give them an inch, they will take a mile. Or maybe I'm wrong. What do you guys think? Do you think Disney went too far with this? Do you guys think this is not really AI? In fact, this is actually a good thing? Or do you guys think there's like more going on? Let me know. Now on to the layoffs. On the wake of Pixar's latest film, Toy Story 5 surpassing 1 billion, that is with a capital B, $1 billion in the box office, which reports came out announcing layoffs in the studio due to Hopper's low performance. Wait, didn't that movie do well too? There's been a lot of conflicting reports saying it's because of Hopper's performance or Disney's low revenue in the animation division, or unfortunately, another case of replacing with AI. There's been a lot of mixed reports, mixed discussions going on right here. Also, now that I think about it with Toy Story hitting $1 billion, I think the last time Disney ever hit that much was for the first movie of Frozen, I think. I remember when that movie came out, it was a big like phenomenon. I think the song Let It Go hit like I think it was like 3 billion views on YouTube, but it pretty much exploded. So, it is fascinating that Toy Story, which is the fifth installment of the Toy Story franchise, hit $1 billion. But at the same time, if I can remember correctly, I don't think there was a lot of movies coming out that week when it was released. I think Toy Story was the only thing that was like really interesting to watch or at least exciting. So I can understand how it makes a lot of money, but damn, the fifth installment of Toy Story hit $1 billion. I don't think we're going to see Toy Story going away anytime soon. Before I dig any deeper on this, just some clarifications. Disney and Pixar are separate studios. Yes, Disney bought Pixar, therefore distributing and owning the rights of all the characters and stories from Pixar. But Disney Animation Studios doesn't directly work on the films. Pixar films are done by Pixar animators. Sometimes Disney animators will move over to Pixar and vice versa, but they are two different studios. I saw a post mentioning the best way to separate the two, and I can't agree more with it, which is Disney is a once upon a time studio while Pixar is a what if studio. Hence the different stories. Like Disney makes princesses and fairy tales, while Pixar makes more action packed and slice of life stories, I can say. Just a little distinction of the two. But what I can say in certain is that the layoffs are taking place in Pixar and is planning to close 100 positions in productions and operations. And cuts are happening despite the Toy Story 5 and Hoppers, which made a collective, as of right now, 1.4 billion combined worldwide this year. This is the issue. I'm seeing a lot of different reasonings on the cuts and pointing blame on low attendance in theaters, animation movies not landing with audiences, or the movies not making as much as Disney hoped. There's been a lot of speculation. CEO Josh D'Amaro has tied the new round to a company-wide cost-cutting push that began earlier this year. Oh, and by the way, Pixar already cut 175 jobs back in May 2024. So for the past 3 years, they've been cutting jobs. So there are still layoffs happening. At this point, are we just laying off people because it's a trend now? Like, are CEOs getting together, betting who lay off the most amount of people? My biggest fear with these layoffs is that we are going to keep seeing more and more sequels and prequels coming from Disney, since that's the only thing that's doing well for the company. Like in the future, we're going to be seeing Toy Story 6 and 7 shut up. Frozen 3 has been greenlit, so it might already be in production, and would not be surprised if the studio is going to be pushed for Frozen 4. In all fairness, it's nothing wrong with multiple prequels of a film, especially if the story is very good, but it gets to a point where enough is enough. Can we get something original again? Elia was released last year, and that bombed to the point that Disney was fed up with the audience not showing up. And now we have another original installment coming in Thanksgiving, Hexed. I don't want to give my thoughts until the official trailer is out. As of right now, we only have the teaser trailer. And honestly, a lot of the things I'm going to say is no different to what people are saying on the internet as well. Disney is facing a lot of criticism and troubles with their films, even more so when more studios are pushing the boundaries of animation to another level. Disney is still one of the biggest animation studios, regardless of slip ups from the past years on the animation division and the live action division. But it's starting to look like Disney has some competition to the point that it might be time for Disney to spice it up. But will they do that by changing the style of their films and storytelling? Or lean into a certain technological advancements? Phew, alright, that was a lot. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like. Let me know what you think about what I've discussed in the comments below, and consider following me on Instagram, subscribing to my YouTube for commentary, such as this, along with fun art challenges or any art-related videos. Thanks again for watching. Make sure you drink your water. Okay, bye.